At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world. At the end of the world, end of the world.
Hello and welcome to the 15th episode of Knitting Abroad. Today is the 15th of June, and so it's a wonderful coincidence that we have the 15th episode. I'm welcoming you from Göteborg, which is in Sweden, where I'm living at the moment. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram as Knitting Abroad. You can find my show notes on www.knittingabroad.com. And I have also a Ravelry group on Ravelry, and the name is Knitting Abroad Podcast. Did I forget something? No, I didn't. And if I'm inserting it here. I'm so glad that I can welcome you today because, as you know, I had an eye surgery and my eye is now so good that I can sit in front of the camera again. So I'm not looking so and I'm healthy again. For those of you who are interested, my eye is so good as it can be just now, and all the other, and if it could be best again, this would take half a year or so. Yeah, no news there in the next half year. But I'm feeling so much better, and I was so glad that I could go to my job again yesterday, so I'm just feeling so much better. I have not knitted much after my surgery, but before my surgery I knitted much, so I have a lot to show you. The first finished object I can't show you because it is in the washing machine. I knitted for the surgery and for being in the hospital. I knitted a pair of socks, which I named I'm a Pirate socks. You know, one eye, pirate. And Sissy gifted me the wonderful wool for that. It is the Piratenwolle, Glitzerwolle, and it has no name. I forgot to get the wool a moment. Where's the wool gone? Not the rum, the wool. I don't know, it's in my chest there, in my wool chest. I'm a pirate, I have a chest. So I'm inserting a picture, and I'm inserting, of course, a picture of the final socks. You got the picture on Instagram also, so most of you just know the picture. And the second finished object is the wonderful Yui shawl from Jorge, and we have it here. It is such a big shawl that it doesn't fit on the camera, and it's so cozy. I'm just coming nearer. There have you the 3 colorways, which are Optic, Abiqui and Esoteric. I hope I'm saying it right. The black and white one is Optic, and then comes the speckled one, which is Abiqui. And then you have here, the blue one is Esoteric, there. The shawl is really big. As I said, it doesn't fit. And it's so cozy, and I think, I wanted to knit the shawl in this wonderful Madeline Tosh yarn, It is single and it is so cozy, and it has the right colors for the summer because it is light and because it's a single, it's also not so heavy, it's also light. I love it when two words fit to one. There is not so much to say about the patterns, it's just why it's dark again, I don't know. It's just a garter rib pattern, and then are the mesh stitches, and then garter ridges again, and then mesh stitches, garter ridges with one mesh stitch pattern, and then a picot bind off. This was the first time for me to get the picot bind off, and it was very long. And if you are hearing those bumping sounds, over me are living two kids, and I love it when I hear them because it is a sign of liveliness, but sometimes it's a little bit loud, and they like to run across the room. Also, yeah, those are a little small. But I have nothing against it, those are kids. The interesting thing about the shawl is the construction, because it is a symmetrical short rows wedges shawl. It reminded me a little bit about the exploration station from Stephen West, those wedges are asymmetrically. First you need this wedge, and then you begin the short rows of the mesh stitches on this side, and then you knit a little bit till here, back, here, back, here, back, until you get a big mesh stitch wedge. Oh my god. Here my color choice was not the best one, because here in this section, in this garter ridge section, are those two colors, Optic and Abiqui, together, and you doesn't see Optic much because it is also speckled yarn with the same undyed base on it, so you cannot differ them so good, but it doesn't matter so much. And the last section is a symmetrical one again, and it is a long but not so how do you say it, deep shawl, also much wingspan but not so long to the bottom. I love it. The first time I needed a really light colored shawl, it was very funny because it went so fast. When the yarn is light, it was cool to knit. Those were my two finished objects, and now I'm coming to my works in progress. I'll start with the work in progress of the Pure Nature Call. As many of you know, we have the Pure Nature Call going on. It is a knitting along where you have to use at least one skein of undyed or plain dyed yarn. The knit along is ongoing just a week, so if you're a fast sock knitter and you want to join with plain dyed sock yarn, I can recommend their Hey Mama Wolf, and I can, if you're living in Vienna, I really can recommend Mirjas Woolplay yarn. And if you're living in Sweden, go and get some Alcentrum yarn. And if you're living in Iceland, Hespa Iceland has also plain dyed yarn. There you have, those are also the partners I got for, so therefore I'm recommending them. You can find all the informations in the Ravelry group. There I have a group with the Pure Nature Call informations. And just 1 week left. For those who have knitted their projects and are finished, don't forget to post them in the finished object thread in the Ravelry group, because there I will draw the winner for the Pure Nature card. My project is living in the wonderful yarn bowl my mother gave to me as a Christmas present. And, oops, there it is. Wonderful. Today's all blue and light. The shawl is the Birds of a Feather shawl from Andrea Mori. I have to do something about the camera because nothing fits on the camera. The shawl is at the moment very popular, so many of you just know it. It is a shawl which is knitted as a triangle. You knit it from the one side of the shawl and you increase stitches and you knit together stitches in the middle that you have this triangle form of the wedges, and it is knitted out of the wonderful yarn of Mirjas, of a yarn dyer from Vienna. This is this color. Its name is Purple Is Not My Color. Then I used fluff from Skein Queen. You see it also here. Whoops. There. And then I used from Valborg. The grey one is Fog on a swirl base. The yarn from Mirjas is wonderful plant dyed, and I every time forget to look up which was the plant she dyed it with. I will insert it. The shawl is wonderful light because of the fluff, and I used the yarn from Mirjas is a Corriedale yarn with high twist, and the Valborg yarn is a sock base. It's called Swirl, and yeah, I used Fog yarn from Valborg because I didn't have enough yarn to knit it just in Mirjas yarn and the fluff. And yeah, I'm just now there at the time where you move you don't see it so good because you move the middle of the shawl from one side to the other. So on this side do the stitches grow less, and on this side the stitches grow more. And yeah, if it's finished you can see it better. It's going to be an asymmetric shawl also. I love the asymmetrical things. And yeah, I love to knit with it because you have after one wedge you have another quality of yarn, because you have the mohair and then you have the sock base, and then also you should knit this with singles, and I guess it would be a little less heavy with singles, but I don't think it's heavy at all, so it doesn't matter so much. But I think it's called Birds of Feather shawl, and I think as for me the two very different qualities, those match for me. A feather weighs something, not so much, but it weighs something, but it can, also the bird weighs something, but it can fly, and so the yarn weighs something, but it is also light, as the fluff is light, and the other yarn weighs something. Yeah, I cannot describe it so much, but yeah, I think it's wonderful to knit it with those different qualities. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can finish it for my own knit along, because I couldn't knit with the fluff so much because I was afraid that the fluff is going into my eye, and therefore I couldn't knit so much after the surgery. But yeah, it's going forward and forward and forward, and yeah, it's wonderful. This is the work in progress. And then I have the second work in progress, which is a happening. I wanted to knit some socks for a dear friend of mine, because yeah, she is one of my first friends here in Sweden. And I asked, so I know that her favorite color is turquoise, not turquoise, petrol. And I had some leftovers from the setter, and I thought, oh wonderful, I need socks for her. And yeah, she said to me I can choose the pattern I want, and I chose this, which is a pattern out of the Knitting Stitch Bible. And yeah, I chose the pattern. I chose to knit the socks, so the base of the socks should be the evergreen socks, and I knew I'm going to need a little bit more stitches than I'm used to for socks, but I didn't think that this many cables would draw you together the yarn so much that it doesn't fit at all over a foot. And so I decided to make some wrist warmers, because I definitely do not want to rip back this pattern. And so I'm going to make some wrist warmers with those, and then I'm knitting a pair of socks out of another yarn which I'm going to buy today. I hope I will find some yarns on it which is petrol also. Yeah, I'm making wrist warmers with this little cable highlight. Yeah. It was the first time I needed cables like this, because I'm just used to knit cables like those small cables which are going just one over another. But it went easier than I thought. And yeah, I'm looking forward to knit the wrist warmers and the socks with the same pattern, because yeah, it's wonderful. I needed it is pattern 121 in the pattern, and also in the Knitting Stitch Bible. And yeah, Hitomi Shida, I think many of you know it. I'm very looking forward to knit more of her patterns here, but I'm not really sure how I can adjust those patterns which I find here on the things I knit, because I'm not so good at math. Also, I'm good at math, but I'm not liking it much, and therefore I'm not counting stitches for adjusting a pattern. Yeah, I do not do such things. That's why I also always knit the gauge swatch as long with different needles till I get gauge which is in the pattern, because I don't want to adjust the pattern. Yeah, I'm not doing this. I like knitting, but not doing math. Yeah. This is my second work in progress, which is followed by a next work in progress, which you can't see because I haven't started it, but the socks and the wrist warmers. Oh, I'm just so glad that I'm healthy again, that I'm just mixing everything up in my brain just now. And the third work in progress is the Sissy spoiler. So Sissy, look away now. I'm going to insert also when you can look again. yeah, I promised to knit Sissi a sweater because she knitted so many things for me and I like her so much, and she's yeah, my best friend, and she is like, when I need her I can call her, and even if it's in the middle of the night. And, so I thought I'd knit her a sweater because she is not the type who likes to knit round, just garter stitch. No, stockinette, and therefore I decided to knit her a sweater. And I got the wool when I was in Vienna in May, from Dyemystyle. Also the wool, his wool is named Dyemystyle, and he is knitmystyle on Instagram. And the wool is wonderful. It's called Sailor. There is the blue one. And I first ordered a pinkish one, but then when I started knitting the Glacier swatch, it was like, no, it's too pinkish, because I didn't want to have this girls, boys, pink and blue, and I asked him if he could knit, if he could dye me a colorway which is a little more lilac, and then I got this one which is now perfect. This is called Fuchsia Freeze, and those two colors are going to be used in the Flower Bell sweater from Natalie B. And if you haven't looked away, Sissi, do it now, because the beginning of the sweater is coming out. It is here. Oops. There. You cannot see much because I started the color work just 2 days ago. I'm inserting a picture of the finished sweater. There you have a wonderful stitch marker from Yarn Tree Shop, which I bought in Edinburgh. And yeah, I like the pattern for the yoke. It's going to be flower bells, so bells which are looking like flowers. I love the yarn to knit with. It's a merino silk mix, and it's just, I love it. It was the first time I used the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast on. Jenny's stretchy cast on. I'm inserting it. And it's now I have finally a cast on which goes easily over the head, because I'm not so good at cast ons. Even though I knit very loosely, it's just not, no, I cannot cast on loosely. But now I managed to find a cast on which is going to be perfect. And yeah, it's not much because I started it after the surgery, but it is a beginning, and I'm hoping that now that I'm healthy again, I can knit a little bit more and a little bit faster, so that it will be ready when I'm in Vienna, or maybe everything but the sleeves, because I think so fast I not. Yeah, so Sissi, you can look back now. It's back in my wonderful bag from Pink Hazel Bags with the wonderful Yarn Pride. But yeah, today is Pride Parade, so yeah, and Sissi with Wolle, which is Sissi's podcast, and there's our button, if yeah, you recognize the logo. And yeah, this is that, the last work in progress for now. And did I forget something? No. And here in another bag we which is from the Happy Little She. Lives the final object I have, which is going to be object. It's going to be the comfort cardigan, and I'm knitting it with the wonderful yarn from Valborg. And I thought I would show you the yarn in person because it is so wonderful. It is her DK yarn. Whoops. Emmy, Blue Steel, Moonrock and Pond, I guess. The last one I forgot to look up. I will insert it right. Yeah, those wonderful colors in a DK weight, and they're going to be my comfort fade cardigan. And this will be my project I'm going to knit in Vienna, I think, when I'm there again for the holiday. And yeah, this was all for today, and I'm wishing you a wonderful sunny Saturday. As we in Sweden, we have blue sky, wonderful sunny. It's not too hot. I know that my friends in Vienna have it hot. Yeah, and so I'm saying bye and happy knitting.
I'll be gone for now, but you can still hear the sound of my voice.